Good morning, everyone. Brian here again with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I have a review for you guys of the Atari VCS 2600 homebrew game Halo 2600. Now, it was developed in 2010 by Ed Fries, who was a former Microsoft employee. Now, you see, Mr. Fries, in his earlier years, had done programming. He'd created some programs as a hobby for the Atari 800 computers. And so, with encouragement from the homebrew community and looking to get back into it, he ended up deciding to go ahead and turn Halo into an Atari VCS 2600 game. Partly for the challenge and partly to see if it could be done. And he kind of left it up to us gamers to decide how he did. Which, once we get to some gameplay in a bit, we're going to go ahead and let you guys figure that out for yourselves, because no matter what I have to say, you're going to make up your own minds. And that's how I'd prefer it. Anyway, it follows the premise of the first Halo game, Halo Combat Evolved, pretty much, as a team-make where you've tried to lead the Covenant aliens away from the less populated but still important Earth, and ended up crash landing as Master Chief on the Halo, and have to fight your way to defeating them. And a successful escape, since the Halo is also a galaxy-destroying weapon, so yeah, don't want to let them get their hands on that. Anyway, let's go ahead and have a look at it. Here is the box. It's pretty nice. As you guys might know from one of my recent unboxing videos, I got this not just last week by Ed Fries. And it says here that Halo is a registered trademark of Microsoft Corporation. As a matter of fact, it's kind of interesting because I've read before that Microsoft actually considers this to be an unofficial, official part of the Halo franchise in a way. But, unofficial because it's not one of the modern Halo games necessarily, like you would have found on the Xbox, Xbox 360, PlayStation, PC, etc. But then, on the one hand, partly official because Mr. Ed Fries was its developer. So, anyway, we have some pretty nice box art and a little bit of explanation of everything, including about how Mr. Fries had to do with it. All of that. Let's see, doesn't say much about anything else on the box. Too important, but that is some nice art. Here is the manual, which is decent, to say the least about it. Video game cartridge for the Atari 2600 VCS. Has a small table of contents. A story so far section. Basic gameplay explanation using the controller too. A brief explanation of items and enemies. Some tips on strategy. And the story behind Halo 2600. And then on the back, we have credits and a little bit of a game map, which can help you keep track of things because there is kind of a color coding to how everything goes. And except for some minor changes in enemies and minor, background features, the game levels are pretty well static. They are not randomly generated, so this can be a bit handy. And here is the cartridge itself. Very nice cartridge art, I think. Not bad at all. Obviously, the cartridge looks as though it may have been 3D printed, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, I'm going to toss it into our Hypercam Retron 77, and we'll take a look at the gameplay and let you guys figure out if Mr. Fries actually did a good job on this or not. Of course, I'll chime in with my opinion, but you guys will think whatever you want. There we go. Where's my signal? There we go. That'll do. Okay, so I like that opening screen. You start off, Master Chief does look, how do you say, like Master Chief in a D-Make mode. That's the M6D pistol, I believe, which is your first weapon. You're not going to get anywhere without it. I usually go that direction, but I'm going to take it the other way around, just so you guys can see here how things work. Here, this is the forest area. You have trees, and these guys here are grunts. The basic enemies, you know, the little pudgy, roundish, egg-shaped guys that you would have seen in the the earlier Halo games, like the modern Halo games. Darn, I didn't mean to. Not going to take it that easy on it. Make sure I've got my, yeah, volume seems a bit loud, but it's just a loud game, I guess. Your shots fire, at least with the M6D pistol, you have to wait for your shot to either leave the screen or kill something before you're going to be able to fire again. The enemies are pretty simple to deal with, but they can be a pain in a way. The big white enemy here is an elite. The big white enemy is supposed to be an elite. I can kind of see. Up there you can see that one spot that was flashing. Well, now it's open since we got a key. Those are This is part of the sections that are supposed to be part of the Covenant Alien Stronghold sections, and those are a form of alien technology. Do not touch unless you care to die. I'm guessing in these sections, Master Chief is supposed to be being depicted as being in a less well lit or darker lit area because he's armor suiting changes to a darker green and his helmet visor turns to more of a reddish color, so that would imply that he's in lesser light or dark conditions. Darn, didn't mean to go down like that, but oh well. You can learn the behavior of the enemies pretty easily as, well, they, give you a bit of a challenge. What? I don't know why I hit that. Not so hard to avoid. This is technically the red gun, the sniper rifle. As you guys will see before long, it allows you to fire shots which go a bit faster. And I'm not sure, but you don't really get any rapid fire, but you do get, it does appear as though you can take repeating shots. It's the only real weapons upgrade you get, but it's actually a decent enough one that you can make do with it. You'll see in just a second how it works with that. See right there, pretty much a faster shot than what you had with the M16. And these things, of course, are shields. They will allow you to take one extra hit before it will be fatal. Of course, you can also die by running into alien technology or the walls, and either one is not going to be protected against by a shield. You can kind of learn the positions of where the enemies will initially be positioned on the next screen, if you really pay some mind to that, so not a terrible idea to learn which approach to take to go into the next screen on the game. This section right here is actually an ice section. Whichever little bit of movement direction you have going already, you're going to slide further than you have already. Shield, good idea. Here's a red key, which you're going to need for something after a bit. By the way, that little guy in kind of brownish down there is called a brute. Kind of like the big guys who come at you charging and tend to drop a shield or something. In the modern Halo games, except for, well, here, like every other enemy, he dies in one hit. So... And that was my last life. I think you guys get an idea with the gameplay already, and Okay, so that was Halo 2600, an Atari VCS 2600 homebrew game from 2010 by former Microsoft CEO Ed Fries. And well, the game does have about 64 screens, and being only a 4K size game, that is quite impressive. Gameplay is good. It can be pretty fast and frantic. You get that sense of, how do you say, impending doom, like you've got to shoot your way out or die and all, like the modern Halo games all. So, as I know you already do, you guys make up your own minds about it, but I think Mr. Fries did do a good job of bringing a Halo game to the Atari VCS 2600. Sure, it's been a little over a decade, so it's an older game, but it's a good one. And as you guys could see, it's being a 4K size game, it does actually work with the Hypercam Retron 77, so those who have primarily that can rejoice if you decide to get a copy of Halo 2600. Anyway, Mr. Ed Fries, very nice work. I actually love this game, and well, I don't have many games I don't like. You know, I might not like something about them like the gameplay, graphics, or sound. But there's usually at least one of those things I will find to be appealing, even on the games I end up liking least. So, anyway, my fellow YouTubers, John with Gamester80, his channel Gamester81, Brian Puddin with his channel Brian's Man Cave, and Hippobytes all have nice videos of this one on their channels. Also, Halo 2600 is still available to purchase through the Atari Age store, so I will leave a link for you guys with that. And if you care to check out, read up on the game a bit further, there's a Wikipedia article, so I will leave you guys a link to that one. If you enjoy my content, please like, share, and subscribe. And feel free to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions in the comments section below. I'm very open to feedback, and I do love to hear from you guys when I can. You guys take care, have a good morning, and I will see you again in my next video.